What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Sunday. Hope everybody had a good time yesterday enjoying the draft and just being out. Let me know if you did go to the draft party yesterday. I know Jaden Daniels was not there. He was, I believe he was at Kyron Lacey's funeral. Recipes, Kyron Lacey. But let me know if you guys went and had a great time. I know B. Mitch was there. Chris Thompson was there. Those are only legends that I heard were there. The Commanders skins legends that were there at the draft party. So let me know if you guys went. Definitely comment down below. I'm gonna try my best to go next year. I went a couple of years ago and I saw Rio, Juan, and a couple of other people there that I know from the Commanders community and whatnot. Excuse me. But all right, let's get to the UDFAs. Let's get to the UDFAs here. So they have signed 7 UDFAs so far. I already talked about 2 UDFAs, undrafted free agents. That's what it stands for if you don't know what a UDFA is. Fentrell Cypress from Florida State, the cornerback. I talked about him yesterday. Excuse me, and I talked about Tim McKay, the guard from NC State. I do want to talk about the contracts and the pay that we do know about that they have released. I think they do release the pay of every UDFA. Because I know, like last year, I know when we got Bryson Tremaine, he got a big signing bonus. Sam Hartman got a pretty nice signing bonus. And Chiggy from Colorado State, the cornerback, got a pretty decent signing bonus. Excuse me, as well. It's pretty early in the morning, so that's why, all this stuff's going on. But so the Commanders, they did sign Tim McKay, the offensive lineman, for $275,000 guaranteed. Fentrell Cypress for $145,000 guaranteed. Ricky Barber, $45,000 guaranteed. That's the defensive tackle from UCF. And Carlin Vidgers, $259,000 guaranteed. The cornerback. So he's gotten paid the most so far. I do want to see. So they just signed a quarterback that I'm very intrigued about. Now, this guy's never going to touch the grass. He's never going to touch the field during a game unless it's like unless somehow miraculously he beats out Josh Johnson, Sam Hartman, and Marcus Mariota as the backup. And, of course, something has to happen. Or either we clinch a playoff berth and we have a bye. And that's the only way this young man can touch the grass and touch the field. And his name is Colin Schley out of Virginia Tech. So we got another Virginia Tech guy. We got Jalen Lane. Now we got Colin Schley. Now, Colin Schley is intriguing. So you think about Josh McCown. You think about trying to think of athletic quarterbacks that were white. So Colin Schley, like I said, I would say Josh McCown. You could compare him to somebody like he's an athlete and a half, man. This guy's an athlete. And you look at his RAS score, you talk about RAS score, this guy had a 9.82 RAS score, relative athletic score. He ranked 20th out of 1,048 quarterbacks from 1987 to 2025. There's another quarterback that was similar to that just got drafted too. I think he got drafted by the Raiders. I can't remember the guy's name, but Louis talked about him in one of his videos, Louis T. Very athletic quarterback. A D2 guy or something like that. 40-yard dash, 4.5 40-yard dash. He went to UCLA, did not play. He was a backup, went to Kent State, where he got to show off a little bit of his arm talent and the athleticism, his dual threat ability. A 20-yard split was elite as well. 10-yard split was elite as well. 39.5-inch vertical leap, which is insane. I mean, like, this guy is like Billy Hoyle or just an athlete and a half, man. This guy, like I said, if you have anything around a 40-inch vert, 39, you can windmill between the leg, dunk a basketball, 360. Like I said, it's not too far from Vince Carter. Vince Carter had a 43-inch vert. Jalen Lane has a 41-inch vert. So that just tells you how athletic these guys are. Broad jump, elite. Height is okay, and the weight is poor. He didn't do the bench press reps, but his 3-cone drill was elite too. Shuttle drill was really good as well. So this guy's an athlete and a half, man. Watch him against Syracuse. Like, some of these guys don't have anything on YouTube. They don't have a lot of tape or anything like that. You got to, dig and find stuff on these guys. But watching him, and he didn't play much anyway. Like I said, he was a backup. The starting quarterback at Virginia Tech, I can't remember his name, but this guy did not start. He had to play. He played against Syracuse, And he had a darn good game, man. Like I was impressed by watching him. Like they couldn't catch him. And you look at the play where Marcus Mariota had against the Cowboys where it was 4th and 1. Malik Hooker puts his left hand up because he thought he stopped us. They basically ran the same play of Virginia Tech for Colin Schley, and he shoots out of a cannon and runs for like 25 yards against Syracuse for a first down. So I know Cliff definitely had a lot to do with this signing. Just seeing something and it just tells you like our culture and what we're doing with our quarterbacks. Every quarterback we have is a mobile quarterback. It's not like when we had RG3 and Kirk Cousins where they were the polar opposites. We're doing stuff similar to the Ravens where the Ravens had Josh Johnson as a backup to Lamar. The Ravens had Tyler Huntley as a backup to Lamar Jackson. So we're bringing in guys that are athletic, that have that dual threat ability, similar to Jaden Daniels. Even when we had, what's the other guy other than this? I don't know. I'm blanking because it's so early. Sam Hartman, and then the other back, Jeff Driscoll. Even that guy was super athletic in the preseason. Like he was running around for first downs and whatnot. So, I like this guy, Colin Schley. Like I said, it's not to get too excited about because we have a couple of backups. Like he might get cut like before training camp starts because we have a good amount of backups. We have Sam Hartman, we have Marcus Mariota, we have Josh Johnson. So that's legit 3 backups already. And Josh Johnson is probably going to be on a practice squad or released because you're not going to have 3 backups on the roster. You're going to usually have 3, and honestly, we only need 2. We only need to keep Jaden on the 53 and Marcus Mariota. So once again, Sam Hartman will probably be on the practice squad. Josh Johnson is more of a camp arm, and this guy is probably just going to be a camp arm too. And in practice, you can't run around like this guy. Like he's not going to really be able to show off what he really does best, which is running in practice. So the Syracuse game, he was 16 for 24, 1 touchdown, no picks. He got sacked 3 times, which is not great, but he had 19 carries in one game for 54 yards, 2.8 yards per carry, which is not great. Probably because of some of the sacks. But the run that he had was 18 yards. It wasn't 25 yards, but he had an 18-yard run for a first down. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown against Minnesota, and he had a rushing touchdown against Syracuse. And then you look at some of his Kent State years, because at UCLA, like he didn't do much, at all. Like he was a backup. Like he just didn't get a chance to play. So against Arizona State, they lost. He went 11 for 18, 117 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, but 14 carries for 51 yards. Against Boise State in a win, he went 11 for 16, 1 touchdown, no picks. In the Starco Brands LA Bowl or Love Bowl, he had 7 carries for 127 yards. This was with, I don't know if this was with UCLA. Let me look at this real quick. This was with UCLA. They won 35-22. He should have either stayed at Kent State so he could start, or go to a school where he knew he would have started. Because at Virginia Tech, like I think he knew he wasn't going to start. He should have went somewhere where he clear cut would have known that he was going to start. And then also against Colorado, against Shadur Sanders and Deion Sanders, he had 4 carries for 26 yards. He went 0 for 1 in that game though. They won that game. He had 4 carries for 26 yards and ran for a touchdown. 6 carries for 80 yards against Oregon State. This guy legit may have to convert to wide receiver or running back, something like that. He legit may have to do that. Like that's something that like they always want to convert like Jalen Milroe to a wide receiver, running back or whatever. Like JT Barrett back in the day. This young man, he probably should convert. This guy's an athlete. I'm actually pretty intrigued. He's from Igemsville, Maryland. I've seen Igemsville like on the Google app or Maps app on the iPhone and stuff like that, but I've never been to Igemsville, Maryland. I'm actually a little intrigued where that even is at, because I've lived in Maryland all my life. It's in Frederick County. Okay, that's where. Okay, I've definitely been out Frederick for sure. I've definitely been out Frederick many times before. I got family out Frederick near Urbana. Okay, I played basketball against Urbana High School back in the day, so I've definitely been out there for sure. I've definitely been out Igemsville for sure, but that's where he's from. Butler's Orchard is out Igemsville, so I've definitely been out Igemsville for sure. But yeah, this guy, I'm intrigued, man. Like I said, he's probably not gonna make the roster or anything like that, but I'm intrigued. I am very interested, and I like this guy as a UDFA signing. And if they even want to try him out on special teams as like a punt returner or something, because this guy, he makes people miss. He makes people miss. He can make people miss in a phone booth, like I always say. Like he is capable of doing that. He legit is capable of doing that. All right, let's move on to the next guy. I literally spent 10 minutes talking about this guy because I'm so intrigued by this guy, watching him. Carlin Vidgers. He had a pretty good RAS score as well, or pretty decent, 7.99. Vertical leap, 38-inch vertical leap, which is elite. Broad jump, elite. Height and weight, elite. 40-yard dash, 4.52, which is okay. 20-yard split, okay. 10-yard split was poor. Shuttle cone drill was poor, and his 3-cone drill was okay. Excuse me. He's a big physical athletic corner at 6'2", 200 pounds. He's from Louisiana Monroe. This is the guy that we've paid the most money so far. We're gonna sign more guys. I feel like we didn't sign a defensive end, which is intriguing. We just have not haven't addressed edge in the draft or in a UDFA signing so far. So we're definitely gonna sign a guy, whether it's Von Miller, Zadarius Smith. We're gonna sign one of those guys for sure, or even Preston Smith. We're gonna sign somebody. You got to get somebody else who can provide some type of pass rush juice. So. This guy, Carlin Vides, like I said, not much out there on YouTube or anything like that. He had an interception in 2024. He had an interception in 2022. He had a pick 6 in 2024 this past season, played in 12 games. 38 tackles, 2 tackles for loss as well. Let me look at the write-up for this guy. He was named to the Athlon Sports Preseason All-Sun Belt 3rd team, selected to the Reese Senior Bowl watch list, which was really good. Started all 12 games at cornerback. 38 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, an interception, and a pass breakup, and 2 quarterback hurries. Intercepted a pass for a touchdown versus UAB. Made his first career sack against Troy. Recorded a season-high 9 tackles versus Jackson State. Credit with a tackle for loss versus Jackson State and at Troy as well. All right, he did force a fumble in 2023 versus Army. He did block a kick, so I think if he does make the roster, most likely he will be on special teams. Had a pass breakup against South Alabama, Arkansas State, and at Ole Miss as well. So we'll see what happens with this guy, Carlin Vides. Like I said, there's really, not much of a write-up, on Carlin Vides that I could find here. Oh, no, here's some scouting on him on Carlin Vides. So the good is good size with excellent length, frame to support weight, and looked heavier on tape. Blanket man cover corner who uses size to his advantage, took away his side of the field and often targeted 31 times across 259 coverage snaps in 2024. And he was not often targeted. So people knew that he was locked down. They didn't challenge him. Basically, he had an island. It was Carlin Vides' island in college. Uses his frame to win in the red zone. Able to contest the goal line fades and squeeze throws in zone, effectively utilizing his length. Can read and drive in off coverage. Safety corner background, so he's versatile. Has some positional versatility. Good special teams background experience, strong overall athletic testing with great jump. So yeah, we'll see how this young man works out. Moving on to the next guy. So the Jackson State guy, I'll talk about him real quick. That's a guy I know we brought in for a couple workouts where we talked to him. He's from Jackson, Mississippi. He was on the Senior Bowl watchout list as well. He's another athlete and a half, 6'2", 207 pounds. Positional versatility as well. A.N.S. Williams Award watch list, Senior Bowl watch list as well in 2024. Played the 2023 season at Alcorn State, playing in 10 games, had 31 tackles and 20 solo stops. A tackle for loss and forced 3 fumbles, recorded 3 interceptions and 5 pass breakups. So this guy has a knack for taking the ball away, which is really, really good. I do like that a lot. Just reading the write-up about him, he was on the HBCU Player Spotlight, the next great hybrid defensive back. That was written by Sports Illustrated. So that's a good thing to do as well. And in the article, it says the Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom has several players interchangeable in the secondary, creating confusion for opposing quarterbacks and offensive coordinators. Could Jackson State's Rob McDaniel be among the next great ones in the hybrid role out of an HBCU? So it's so funny they named the Seattle Seahawks, and guess who was a part of the Legion of Boom? Dan Quinn, Ken Norton. So let's see if they can get the best out of this man. Once again, let's see if he makes the roster. So I do want to go over his relative athletic score too, because he once again, he's an athlete and a half. He had 8.84. Athletic score. He had a 39-inch vertical leap, which is elite. Broad jump, elite. 40-yard dash, 4.5, elite for a strong safety. 4.55 40-yard dash, which is elite for a strong safety. 20-yard split, 2.62 seconds, which is elite for a strong safety. 10-yard split, 1.56 seconds, which is elite. Shuttle drill was poor, and his 3-cone drill was okay. Height at 6'2" is great, and his weight at 211 pounds is okay. Bench press 14 reps, which was poor. So he ranked 144 out of 1,228 strong safeties from 1987 to 2025. So I think we got a good guy. I mean, they had their eyes on this guy. I think he was at the local pro day as well. So it's definitely a name that I've heard in the last couple of days. And then Steve Weich says McDaniel was one of the top HBCU players in the nation whose versatility is tailor-made for Dan Quinn / Joe Witt's scheme. So is he that star role that people talk about with like Dom Hampton, that versatility role like that? Who's the guy they had for the Cowboys for many, many years or a couple years? Jaron Curse type of guy. Is he that kind of guy that they're looking for? So we'll see if he's that kind of guy that they're looking for. All right, let's move on to Trey Rucker, who I do like. So Trey Rucker's from Waldorf, Maryland. He went to Flint Hill, Virginia. So another local guy. We got two guys that were from Maryland, or that are from Maryland, that they just signed as a UDFA. He's a talented safety with big play production who began his career at Wake Forest. Played in 58 FBS games with 34 starts. Played in 11 games with 11 starts, missing the game at BYU due to injury. Ranked 8th in the Big 12 and 68th in the FBS with 7.6 tackles per game. Finished the year with 84 tackles to lead the team by more than 20, which is really, really good. 53 of those were solo stops and one was a tackle for loss. Recorded at least one tackle in every game. He played with highs of 17 tackles against Arkansas, 15 against South Dakota State, 14 tackles against Utah, and 10 at Kansas State. Named the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week against South Dakota State. I mean, how could you not with 17 picks? 2 interceptions for the year, with both of them coming in one game against Utah. He was on the Bednarik Award Who's Hot list against San Diego State and Utah. His 17 tackles against Arkansas tied for the most of any Big 12 player in a game all season. Served as a game captain. You know, Adam Peters loves captains. He served as a game captain against Tulsa. This guy hit a big fumble that was forced, as well, like a big clutch fumble. I may retweet that on my Twitter page. He had a really big forced fumble. So this is the writer from Dane Brugler. Trey Rucker is a physical downhill defender whose skill set shines as a read and react box safety. He's an alignment versatile and has experience at off-ball linebacker, nickel, and free safety. He plays best closer to the line of scrimmage. However, overall, Rucker projects as a hybrid second-level defender with the versatility and tackling ability to challenge for snaps on special teams. So could he replace Percy Butler? Could this guy be the Percy Butler replacement, or is Tyler Owens just going to play more and replace Percy Butler? So Trey Rucker's a guy to definitely keep an eye on, but he had a really big forced fumble in a clutch game that I'm trying to find it because I bookmarked it on Twitter. Like I said, I may retweet it on Twitter, so make sure you guys follow me. So yeah, so this is on November 25th, 2023, which is about 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago. Trey Rucker forces the fumble as pandemonium ensues in Stillwater. Cowboys come back down 24-7 at the half and walk away with a 40-34 victory against BYU in 2023. So he had a big clutch fumble in a game. There was one, and then some other stats for him. So he, in the first 4 games of the season, he had 53 tackles, which was first in the FBS at the time. That was on September 21st, 2024. So this guy Trey Rucker, man, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by him too. Our last is Ricky Barber, defensive tackle. He went to Western Kentucky, had an 89.4 defensive grade in 1 week. He was named to the PFF College's National Team of the Week. That was back in 2020 when he was with Western Kentucky. He did transfer to UCF though. So let me pull up Ricky Barber's numbers here. I believe he had like 2 sacks or something like that. A defensive tackle. There's really not much on him here with Ricky Barber. He was a Big 12 honorable mention and an honorable mention for the conference defensive lineman of the year, which is really, really good. Appeared in all 12 games during his final season at UCF, starting 11 games. Finished the season with 34 tackles, including 6 tackles for loss. Also tallied 2.5 sacks for a loss of 27 yards. Logged 9 quarterback carries. Registered 15 solo tackles and 19 assisted tackles. Helped the UCF defense finish the year ranked 3rd in the conference in rushing defense, allowing 120.3 yards per game. Now, he played in college for a long time. He played for 6 seasons. 6 seasons he played. Played 4 games as a freshman, 12 games as a sophomore in Western Kentucky. He had 4 sacks at Western Kentucky in 2020, 3 sacks in 2021 with UCF, 3 sacks in 2022, 1.5 sacks in 2023. And then 1.5 sacks in 2024. His career high in tackles for loss is 9. His best year was in 2022, really, if you're looking at it. Or you can say his best year was at Western Kentucky, where he had 7 TFLs and 4 sacks. And he had 1 forced fumble with Western. He was getting busy with Western Kentucky. And that's when he transferred to UCF. So that's really it on Ricky Barber. They don't really have much on Ricky Barber either here at a UCF. So, yeah, so hold on. This is one thing for UCF. 2022 All-American Athletic Conference first team in 2022. He was a force in the middle of the UCF defensive line, registering 43 tackles, including 7.5 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. So in 2022, he was he did make first team. He was a first team All AAC selection in 2022 by vote of league coaches, and that means a lot when league coaches pick you on the first team. That means a lot, because coaches obviously they're watching you, they're game planning for you, watching film, all kinds of stuff like that. So, all right, you guys, I think that's about it, man. You guys, let me know who intrigued you the most. He was on the Senior Bowl watch list in 2023. Then he decided to come back again in 2024. He really could have left last year, but he just decided to come back again. And I don't know if he was getting. I guess he was getting an NIL money to stay 6 years in college. That's just what guys do nowadays. No knock on that, for sure. How old is this guy? Because being in college for 20 or 6 years is a lot, for sure. Where did his stats go? Here's right here. I'm gonna wrap it up here. It doesn't say how old he is. I probably got a Wikipedia and see how old this young man is, and then I'll wrap it up here and let you guys go. So he doesn't even have a Wikipedia, but it's all good though. Excuse me. All right, I think that's it. I think that is everybody so far for the UDFAs. Yeah, talking about Carlin, Vides, Tim McKay already, Fentro, Cypress. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys so far. I've seen some teams sign like 20 free agents. Like 20 free agents so far. Like I've seen some teams do that so far. And I thought maybe we would be one of the teams to do that, but we're not. Like the Vikings have signed 20 undrafted free agents. Oh, Gabe Taylor. I don't know. I keep calling him Pedro Taylor because of his dad, or Sean Taylor's dad is Pedro Taylor. But Gabe Taylor was signed by the Eagles, so can't get mad at him for that. Maybe he should have held out and tried to sign with the Commanders. Maybe the Commanders just didn't really have any interest in Gabe Taylor. So that is tough to see that. I hate to see that he's going to be practicing on the practice squad if he does make it for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, you guys, as always, Hell Commanders, have a great day. Peace.